Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another weekly roundup with Immutable Holdings. My name is Billy Baxter, Head of Corporate Development and Operations.
And I'm Jordan Freed, Chairman and CEO of Immutable Holdings.
How you doing today, Jordan?
I'm feeling chipper today on this fine morning, morning your time, or not quite morning, more like midday
It's
your
afternoon.
time.
Yeah,
Afternoon. Feeling good. I love what we're working on, and I'm excited to give the fine folks that listen to this update an Immutable Holdings update.
definitely. Well, hey, Jordan, because we've spent a lot of time talking about the company over the past couple of weeks, talking about NFT.com, Coffee and Crypto. I thought we'd just kind of start things off talking about some of the larger events, but maybe tying into that, like how it is related to Immutable Holdings. I guess one of the news that was kind of hitting the industry last week that I know I was keeping a close eye on. I know you were keeping a close eye on, and just as a company, we were keeping a close eye on is all of the developments happening with Silvergate. So, with that kind of being said, maybe you want to take a second to talk about what's been happening with this bank, why banking for crypto companies is important, and then I guess how it's also connected with Immutable Holdings.
Yeah, just real quick, it's been historically difficult. The entire industry of Bitcoin has only existed. This year will be our 15th year in existence. The Bitcoin white paper was published on October 31st of 2008. The Genesis block occurred on January 3rd of 2009. And it's been very, very, very difficult to start crypto companies and get banking up until really just like the past 3, 4, 5 years. Personally, and I'll just share this from personal experience, I've had personal accounts at banks shut down because I work in this industry. And that's at major, banks that are, count themselves in the top 5 or top 10 banks in the country. So it's very difficult to bank yourself, not just as an individual, but also as a company that is actively operating in the crypto space. And part of that is due to the regulatory ambiguity of what licenses do various companies need in the jurisdictions that they operate. Also, what is the nature of the business that you're operating in? Are you an exchange selling crypto? Are you an OTC desk? Are you a market maker? Are you an education company? There's a process that unfolds there. Silvergate was one of those sort of pioneering banks in our industry that sort of was among the first, if not the first, to really hang the banner or fly the banner proudly to say we bank crypto companies. For that reason, we established a banking relationship there at Immutable Holdings, and we've been closely monitoring the situation of the past week. Let me just first state, Immutable Holdings has taken all steps that we see as necessary to limit our risk here, and that means keeping quite literally almost no working capital in the account. We keep just enough working capital in our Silvergate accounts at the moment to cover our sort of operational overhead on a monthly basis. We've completely reduced our exposure, so it's at this stage negligible. Our company in our future is not in the hands of any one particular bank, certainly not Silvergate. We've come to have a respect for them, and we of course want Silvergate to pull through this and come out stronger and better because of what they're going through. But I do think that they have a target on their backs, Billy, because of what has happened after the collapse of FTX, after the collapse of Celsius, after the collapse of Voyager, after the collapse of Terra Luna, the regulatory crackdown that's going on right now. I think that they're under tremendous pressure. We don't view ourselves in the position as willing to take that risk, so we've moved our funds out into a safer banking relationship with a very reputable regional bank that was happy to take our business. And we wanted to share that with our shareholders. But with that said, we wish the folks at Silvergate the best. We've not fully closed our accounts there. We just have chosen to limit our exposure in only keeping the necessary working capital there. And again, that's correct me if I'm wrong, Billy, but that's really just enough capital to cover bills for a monthly period or so.
Exactly. Exposure is very much limited to what remains at Silvergate, and then everything's been moved over the past couple of months over to another banking relationship when the original issues came about with Silvergate. And I guess just for frame of reference, part of the issue that Silvergate's been facing is that following the FTX collapse, there was a significant bank run back in Q4 2022, where many customers including ourselves, started moving deposits out just because we weren't sure about the overall health or what type of exposure the bank had to FTX. And then with that, just slowly led to an ongoing drawdown on the deposits at the bank. And then now, there's some discussions around whether or not the bank's going to continue on. That being said, Jordan, I think you nailed it. Like, crypto or banking for crypto companies has been a long saga. We thought we were in the clear. This news is kind of concerning, but fortunately, there's other players in the space that are probably a little bit better positioned than Silvergate was as far as their stature as banks. But certainly, we're keeping a close eye on it and doing everything in our capacity to make sure that this doesn't become an issue, to the company. So
yeah, and I don't want to end this on like a somber note here. So, I will just say I don't believe that there's any systemic risk in the Silvergate collapse. It's not going to affect Immutable Holdings' future. It's not going to affect NFT.com's future, any of our operating businesses. It's not going to affect crypto to the extent that people are concerned about. I've the great fortune of having access to several brilliant macro investors, including some self-made billionaires that are macro investors, including in this space. And one of them at a recent dinner just remarked, and I thought I'd share, that the bottom is likely already in from the perspective, and again, this is not an investment advice, but the bottom is likely already in from the perspective that the worst possible thing you could imagine happening to the industry, one of the top exchanges in the world, collapsed, along with several others that were sort of caught in that backlash. Yet we didn't achieve new lows as an industry. I forget the technical term he used to describe an event like that, but when that doesn't happen, the sell-off at that stage, he had took it upon himself to start deploying more capital than ever before. And this was in November, December of last year, sort of around that Bitcoin bottom period. So again, I don't want to remark whether or not that bottom is in, but I don't view Silvergate as causing another systemic FTX-like collapse where Silvergate's collapse is going to lead to, 10 other collapses. I really do think that this is perhaps another casualty of the down cycle. The run on the banks, as you said, Billy, significant. We didn't want to pull our funds, but we're not in the business of betting on which banks are solvent or not. We're in the business of staying in business and building a profitable business, and we're going to diversify, where we keep our assets. So we wanted to share that with you all. Certainly a piece of market info I'm sure we'll be talking about again and watching closely. But I remain, as ever, optimistic that crypto comes out of this way stronger than before. And for every Silvergate that no longer exists, another one will come in their place, because in this next cycle, these exchanges need banking. Companies like NFT.com and OpenSea and LooksRare and the Alchemies of the world and the Chainalysis and all the great companies out there, they need banking. And luckily, there's now a lot of not crypto specific banks that'll take us on as customers. But this is not the end of banking for crypto companies. Far from it.
Certainly. All right, Jordan. So I think that kind of covered it as far as like some of the big events that were happening, how that ties to us. So since we've already kind of queued things up, started talking about Immutable Holdings, maybe let's talk about where we're at with NFT.com.
I was actually going to suggest, Billy, that we should start with, I feel like we haven't given a coffee and crypto update in a while. I feel like we've been hogging the airtime with NFT.com because of our launch. I'm rocking the NFT.com sweatshirt. And I'm really proud of what we've been able to achieve with NFT.com, but maybe just to touch on what we've been able to do with coffee and crypto. We are now over 57,000 subscribers. We have seen over 30% open rate on some of our recent emails. Our best email was out last week. It was how Bitcoin fights inflation. I'm really excited about the growth trajectory of that, Billy. I'm excited about the interaction we're getting. it's read by so many newcomers to the space. Overwhelmingly, Coffee and Crypto is read by people that are looking for a guide. They're looking for a place to start their crypto journey. So they go and subscribe, and they're actively engaged in opening these emails. And so many of them are actually replying to the emails with great questions. So we consider ourselves lucky to be stewards of that list, and to, again, use that list for strategic gain and strategic value, of course, for shareholders as we look to monetize that business line. So look for us to introduce. We've really been able to come to tell that these newcomers want education. So we're really excited about our ability to roll out an educational offering to them in the not too distant future, but also continue to drive them on their user journey to go use NFT.com. So look more for that. Just wanted to give that quick update. Won't dwell on it any longer. And then over to NFT.com, I'm happy to share. Last week we had 3 new people join our company, 2 on the engineering side and 1 as an executive editor of NFT.com. The reason we brought on an executive editor who has experience writing for publications like NFTnow.com and other massive crypto publications like Cointelegraph and CoinDesk is Brad's role will really be for us to help drive our content strategy. We see one of our biggest growth channels as our search engine optimization channel, and we're very excited to continue to grow our web traffic month to month by ranking organically for some of the top keywords in the space, like what are NFTs? How do I buy NFTs? What are the top NFT collections? What are NFT royalties? Things of that nature. And we can sort of step into this in a very strategic way to look at what are the top NFT queries that people are ranking for, and then create that content first and foremost. So we're lucky to have Brad with us. Look for a lot more exciting content to be published up on nft.com/articles. That's where you can follow along. And then we've got, 2 new great engineers, Anthony and Rio, joining us both in a full stack engineering function and in a DevOps function. So we'll continue to grow that technical talent that helps us continue to ship features on a predictable timeline and to continue to evolve that product. Our core focus with nft.com is really scaling the growth of nft.com profiles. For us to do that successfully, we need to make nft.com profiles must-haves. And we're really obsessed right now over making sure that nft.com profiles are solving the right user problems. And I think that there are a lot of user problems, Billy, in the NFT space today. I think that you need to use a lot of tools. You have typically a lot of tabs open, whether that's Dune Analytics or NFT Go, or you're reading Masari, or you're reading Cointelegraph, or various different publications. You're not getting all your data in one place. Occasionally, you've got a Chrome extension like a Trade Sniper helping you to get different data points and different collections you have. What we really want to expose people to is a great user-friendly way to start their experience with NFTs, where they come to NFT.com, they get this profile, and we make it as easy as possible for them to understand who to follow, what matters, and what they can do on this platform. So look for us to prioritize rolling out social features, specifically a like and a follow, where you can follow other users on the platform, follow what they're doing, like the different trades that they're doing, like an NFT that they bought, an NFT that they sold. That is in the product roadmap. Those are things that we're building. And I'm excited about the future of that feature set. So a lot to come in both of these business lines.
Definitely. Well, hey, Jordan, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. We kind of covered, some of the broader market updates, talked about ourselves, Coffee and Crypto, NFT.com. So just as always, any final comments kind of before we wrap up here?
Yeah, March is an exciting month. This is the end of Q1, so look for a couple new product releases from us, and this is something that I'm really looking forward to keeping up this year. I'm also excited. Something I do personally is I daily journal. This vlog or company blog, if you will, or video update, however we're calling these, Billy, this is like our weekly journal entry for Immutable Holdings. Each week we get to write in a new entry of what we're working on, the progress that we've made. I'm really excited to look back again at these and to see the progress we've made. I'm already watching like some old episodes, and I know that these are going to be bits of company history for us to just look back and how much has changed, how many new people have joined our company, how much new progress we're making. So thank you again. If you're watching this, please like, please subscribe, please comment. And again, we'll answer all the comments. And we appreciate you and your time.
Awesome. Well, with that being said, thank you all for joining us. And as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks all, and have a good rest of your week.